Welcome to Your Yoga Charleston. Today, I'm going to take you through a floor practice where you're simply laying down and opening up the chest. It's wonderful to be able to stretch the shoulders back, getting those shoulder blades together, allowing more space in the lungs so that we can find that channel, that connection of breath a little bit more easily. I just want you to take a minute and think about how you go through your day. You're leaning over a sink. You're leaning over a steering wheel in a car. You're sitting at a desk, typing at a computer. All of these things contract the body, right? The shoulder blades start pulling in. We're drawing in on ourselves. And what's happening here is we're not allowing ourselves to actually expand and breathe in and get the maximum amount of airflow of that prana, of that oxygen into our body that we so desperately need, right? And especially for those of us that suffer from asthma or other lung diseases and issues, many times it's that exhalation that gives us the hardest time, right? So we went through some breathing exercises a couple of videos ago. If you haven't looked at those, please go back and check those out. They're also in my book, The Anatomy of an Asthmatic, which you can get on Amazon. But today we're going to start moving through movement, right? Well, this really isn't movement. This is awesome. You're just laying down. So the floor, right, is a prop. It's a tool. And it's an amazing tool to help us, right, to understand that opening up of the chest. It's a vulnerable position, right? A lot of us feel that vulnerability when we lay down like that. So I will tell you that up front, that it may bring up some emotion, and that's okay. And it's also one of those practices that you can increase or decrease, right, depending on how you're feeling. So the longer you can stay, you're counteracting, right, how we always round in. And the other bonus to what Marjorie and I are going to show you here in a minute is that this moves us from that fight or flight, right, that almost like panic feeling that we have all day long, into that parasympathetic nervous system, into that rest and digest, which is so healthy for us, which is what we need to be finding more in our daily living, right? So if you don't have a blanket or like a towel nearby, I want you to pause this video right now. Go grab like a beach towel or a bath towel, or if you have one of these yoga blankets, that would be great too. And meet me back here and we will get started. Okay, and we are back. So this is Marjorie. She's going to be our little assistant today, and I so appreciate her. You're going to take your blanket or your towel, and I want you to start it in this position, right? So it's kind of like a little square, little rectangle. You're going to take the longest edge, and you're going to start rolling it up nice and tight. Make sure it's flat. A lot of times when you start rolling it, right, it starts to get a little wrinkly, but the tighter you can get it, the better it's going to feel on your back. So it's going to look like a tight Tootsie Roll, right? It's going to look like that. So once you have that, you are going to place it down on your mat, right? Close to the top of the mat where your head is going to be, yeah? And as you roll down, what you want to do is find maybe like 4 to 6 inches from your sacrum to the back of the roll. Because what we're going to do is we're going to slowly grab the bolster that we just made and roll down on it, right? Finding our spinal column resting nicely on that little bolster. Once we sort of feel like it's in a good position and wiggle around a little bit, take your hands, reach back, and find the back of your little tube that you made, your little bolster, and roll it up. And then what I want you to do is place it underneath your neck. So what you're doing is you're actually creating a little shelf for your skull, right? For the back of your neck and for your skull. So already your chest is starting to open here. Your arms, let's talk about our arm placement. So slowly we're going to extend the arms out on the floor. We want our palms facing upward. Now, if you can get your wrists in line with the shoulders, that's obviously going to be the most beneficial. But if you find that your arms just don't rest that way, draw your arms downward closer to your feet until the entire arm can rest comfortably on the ground on either side of the mat. Yeah. So already I want you to consciously notice how your shoulder blades are starting to move back just by the weight of gravity, right? Because you're upright on that bolster. Now, our legs, couple of different options for leg placement. You can let your legs extend all the way out. That's number one. I'm not a big fan of this. For me personally, it's not the most comfortable. If you like this, fantastic. Option two is going to be bending the knees, walking your feet all the way to the outside of the mat, and then drawing your knees together, right? Like a knock-kneed position. We call this constructive rest in yoga. And the wonderful thing about that is literally nothing is working. No muscles are working here, right? We're letting the legs rest upon each other so we can literally just relax and tune into our body. Now, if this is not for you, maybe you want to explore bringing the feet together and then letting the knees fall out to the side, right? Kind of like a butterfly or an open book, right? The benefit to this is just a little added stretch for the inner groins. If that feels comfortable for you, great. So we're not necessarily focused so much on the legs as we are, right, our breathing channel, right? The diaphragm all the way up to the apex of our lungs. So you can move your legs around every time you come to the mat and try this. It might be something different. That's the beauty of yoga, right? It's a practice. It's not a perfect. We're not looking for it to be that. We're just looking to be able to tune in to the breath and to what our body needs at that given moment, right? So once you've found that position, breathe. Just focus on your inhale. Focus on the exhale. Notice the flow, right? Sort of like a wave in and out of the shore. And that's all you have to do. There's nothing more. If you want to take it a step further and you want to try a little bit of expanded breath, right? Drawing a little bit deeper breath in. If you're feeling you're having a great day and that's going to be a little strengthening for the lungs, you might take a few deep breaths. I wouldn't do too many, but I would certainly try to stay in this position for maybe 5 minutes and then maybe see if you can't increase even up to 10 minutes. Again, remember what I said at the beginning of this video. We live so much of our life in constriction. So giving ourselves just a few minutes to counteract that by opening up, expanding, cracking that heart center open will help you on a mental level and on a physical level. I want to thank you for spending time with me today. My name is Leah. This is Your Yoga Charleston. I would love to hear comments. I would love to have questions. I promise I will read them and answer you. And anything else that you might think of that you feel like you need that I could help you with, please ask.